Welcome to Excel Boats on the X Podcast, powered by Mud Buddy Motors.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
The only podcast to bring you insights on the world of hunting, fishing, and boating. With your host, J. Paul Jackson.
You don't say much, do you?
Now, load up and sight in. This is On the X.
Welcome to the Excel Boats on the X Podcast, powered by Mud Buddy Motors. Paul Jackson here today with my illustrious co-host, Mr. Jeffrey Whitlock, and standing in for Stellar Dave Reynolds is our good buddy and CSR for Excel Boats, Mr. Jeremy Coe. Guys, how are y'all doing today?
Doing really good. Better now that I'm talking to you, J. Paul.
I just made my day, brother.
I get to go riding a storm cat today, guys.
That's awesome. You really are the boy wonder. Maybe when I grow up, I'll get to be lucky and be you.
Well, you know, it's a big task. You have to be 6'7" and about 245 pounds, and you can do that.
Yeah, and what's impressive is just a while back, you were about 270 pounds. So you're leaning up, buddy.
You aren't feeding him good over there in Arkansas.
Well, he's working it off. Zach, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How are y'all?
Man, we're great and really, really glad to have you on here with us today. You guys about to get out on the water?
We are. We are about to go down to Lake Wateree in Lake Wateree, South Carolina, and see if we can't put a couple catfish in the boat.
No. Tell him what we're really fixing to do before we go try to put catfish in the boat.
We are about to, right now we're at the boat ramp at Lake Wiley. We are about to put some water in this storm cat and test out the level flotation on it.
Are you really?
Well, we want everybody to know just how safe these big water boats are. So I don't have one at the factory to do in Arkansas. So Zach volunteered this new 300 horse rated storm cat that we brought to the Catfish Conference. And we're going to show everybody just how safe it is and fill it up.
That's awesome. And for those of you that are regular listeners, probably giving him a little better introduction too. We got Mr. Zach Taylor with us today from Huntley Marine down in the Carolinas, South Carolina to be exact. And you are in South Carolina, right? You're right on the border.
Yeah, we're right on the border. We're just south of Charlotte, actually, in Pineville, North Carolina. But, you know, we're about 3 miles from the border. So we're right there on the line.
Cool. So Zach's with Huntley Marine, and he are you the Marine sales manager, or what's your title, Zach?
Well, I do a little bit of everything, but technically I'm the sales manager, yes, sir.
That's cool. In addition to being sales manager for Huntley, and by the way, he sells the fire out of our boats. I wish everybody that we had out there in sales was like Zach. Does a great job. He also contributes a lot of content via his Facebook and also to our Facebook. Jeffrey, he gives you quite a bit to work with, doesn't he?
I really do. It's always a treat to run through a Facebook feed and see what new adventures Zach has gotten into at any time during the week.
Yeah, and now your Facebook page is Huntley Marine, correct, Zach?
Yes, sir.
And for those of you also might find this rather interesting, all of us being SEC sports fans, well, maybe not all of us, but 2 out of the 3 of us on here anyway. Zach also has the distinction of being SEC champion decathlete 2 years in a row?
No, it was just one.
1 year, all right. So he won the SEC Southeastern Conference Decathlon Championship. What year was that, Zach?
To be honest with you, I can't remember. It seems, 3-4 years ago. Oh, now.
You really can't remember what year you won an SEC championship.
14 or 15. Yeah,
you also
definitely.
Can't remember where you put the championship ring. Is that right?
It's somewhere laying around the house.
What kind of dumbass loses an SEC championship ring?
No, listen, this is why we don't, the one of us that is not a huge SEC fan, this is why. I mean, obviously, it's not that important, obviously.
It was a very nice goal for us, or for myself.
Yeah, but I mean, to lose the damn ring, Zach, come on.
Unfortunately, I got hurt before the big show over there in Beijing, but I guess everything happens for a reason.
As long as he doesn't lose his fiance's ring, I guess that's all that matters. So.
Yeah, well,
right.
yeah. Well, I will be very mad if that happens.
Priorities.
Man, well, anyway, it is pretty impressive. I think that's just amazing. And what's funny is, too, guys, I got to tell you, Jeffrey, I don't know if I've told you the story or not, but so one of the first phone conversations that I had with Zach, we got on the phone, and Zach's like, man, I know who you are, and I've been watching your stuff, and I think that's really cool. And I'm like, well, thank you, and I'm trying to like be all modest and stuff. And he stopped at a gas station.
Wait. J. Paul, did you just say you were trying to be modest?
I'm trying to be. Actually, I'm reading a book on humility right now. That's a fact. But anyhow, so, I know who Zach is because he's, the sales manager at Huntley. He's doing a great job, but he stops to get gas. And while he's pumping gas, I hear this guy in the background go, hey, man, I know you. You're Zach Taylor. And I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? And dude's like, yeah, man, can I come over and get a selfie with you? Man, we have watched you, man. I'm a big fan of the SEC and Mississippi State, and just can't believe I've got the privilege of meeting you in person. And Zach couldn't even carry on a conversation with me because this guy was so starstruck for about 3 minutes.
I think I was actually in Memphis at the time.
Yeah.
I was on my way back from Arkansas.
I thought that was just so cool, man, to be talking to a superstar like
that. That's you, J. Paul. Everybody knows your voice and name.
Well, I get that a lot. My boys, for sure. I could never prank call anybody. Although, Jeffrey, yours is pretty distinct too, buddy.
Yeah, mine's okay. I mean, thanks. I guess I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
Yep. So while y'all are out there, are you two social distancing, Zach and Jeremy, or y'all like both gathered around the microphone?
No,
We need to be so. Yeah, we're social distancing. 6 foot, face
sure.
mask. Yeah.
Good. Correct answer.
We're not sitting in the same chair though. That's all that matters.
Hell, you're twice his size. He could sit in your lap, Jeremy. That's a mental picture I can do without, though.
Yep, didn't need that. It's a little too early on my side.
Amen. So, Zach is also a big cat fisherman, and he and Jeremy, he's known the boy wonder for years from Jeremy's days of running the Bass Pro Cabela's King Cat tournaments. And I tell you what, it's been a pleasure. I mean, you're almost like a member of our pro staff, Zach, because you give us some of the best videos and the best feedback out there on the Stormcat. And you were definitely instrumental in helping us launch the new Stormcat 230 with the 300 horsepower rating.
And J. Paul, it is awesome. I mean, it is no less than what I thought it would be, and it's met all my expectations so far. And I don't think Jeremy or Scott has had a chance to ride in it yet. Running wide open full speed. Have you?
Not since you've played with it.
Well, not since we made a couple little adjustments on the prop, but they're going to get a chance to today and just feel how much power it actually has.
What kind of speed are you getting out of it?
Realistically, on an everyday, no wind, no current, 2 people, full live well, full gas, you're looking at 60.
Wow.
It jumps between 59 and 60. With me and Joni on there, we had a little bit of wind behind us. I actually hit 63, and I'll occasionally jump 61, 62. But I would say realistically, on an everyday speed, 60 is a good number. I hit 60 just about any condition. I'll put it that way.
That is awesome and impressive.
It's very impressive for a boat that big to reach those kind of speeds.
And y'all are about to prove it's also super safe.
It's definitely a big water boat, and that's one of my favorite things about it is obviously I'm not going to be out there if it's 10, 12 footers. I don't know of anybody that would be, but I mean, it's a big water boat, and so far I have, since owning the Stormcat, I've never taken a wave that I've actually gotten wet on.
And let's not forget it is a self-bailing boat. When you got the windshield closed, you got the self-bailing track up front. So we've taken some pretty big waves in some other Stormcats.
Yeah, I've seen you and Scott Lovelace, man, down on the Tennessee River at Wheeler back in the winter, and good Lord, it looked like you were out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, we're close.
It looked like it, at least.
Yeah. And you actually are close where you're at.
Yeah, we're not too far.
You know, I wouldn't be scared at all to take that boat out on the salt water.
Well, actually, I believe we're going to do that pretty soon. So I think me and Jeremy might be going down to Key West pretty soon, and hopefully we can stick a big tuna in it.
Wow. I went on that trip. How about you, Jeffrey?
You just make sure you bring back plenty of pictures of that.
And videos. It's going to happen. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be in a Bay Pro 230 or a Stormcat 230 yet, but one of the two is going to go out there.
Well, I got a whole bunch of Southwest points built up.
Well, you can send those over to me at any time.
Yeah, I can see myself in that video. In that moment.
I know. J. Paul are going to crash that little party.
Yeah, Jeffrey, you need to come crash with me.
Yeah, exactly. Zach, what was it initially that draw you to the Stormcat, like the first one? Because you've had several, correct, that you've run?
Yes, sir. This is actually my third one that I've actually ran. The first one I really did not own. The second two I actually owned. But, I mean, the way I fish, it's the perfect boat for me. I mean, I believe if you had any boat out there for catfishing and you were just giving me one, I would still choose the Stormcat. But the way I fish, it's perfect for me. The very wide deck, you know, I always fish with several people, and I don't always have this happen, but occasionally I'll get 3 or 4 fish on at one time. And with that boat, you can fish 4 people off the back without even touching shoulders, and all 4 people reeling in a fish. And it's very comfortable. Like I said, the sidewalls, they're very high, very safe. The boat rides extremely well. During the wintertime, the big windshield is a game changer. The wind, it blocks all the wind, and you know, when you're running in the cold weather, it's just a game changer. And like if you do hit a wave and it does splash you, the windshield catches it all. So it's a very comfortable riding boat. I really don't have any complaints so far, and I'm just excited to keep getting bigger and bigger on the motors. Hopefully next year y'all have me a 350.
Oh man, wouldn't that be a trip?
I'd be all about that.
Yeah.
I like speed.
I love speed. I really do. Now, 60 miles an hour, you know, that in all reality, that is plenty fast enough. But, you know, who wouldn't want to run 65 or 68?
Amen.
Jeremy, can I ask what inspired this trip today?
I've ran catfish tournaments a long time, crappie tournaments as well. And, you know, during tournaments, typically when I showed up, it was always bad weather, rain, and I think I got the blame for all of that. But what we're fixing to do, you never want to have to be in a boat that's doing that. You never want your boat to fill up with water, but you want to know that one day, if something ever happened, if you got caught on one of these big lakes like we fish on a lot, and get caught in a storm and have to come back across rough water, you want to know that these boats can handle that and be safe. And there's a lot of things that have happened in the past, and luckily everybody come out safe on the other end with boats that have taken on water. So we just want to prove that these boats are safe. And when you buy a XL Stormcat 230, 210, that when you go out there, that your life is in good hands. Always wear your life jacket. We'll have ours on, even though we'll be sitting here at the boat dock and the boat ramp. But we just want to prove, you know, that when you get in one of these boats, that you're in good hands, and that we want to build the safest the most fishable boat, the most comfortable boat, but also the safest boat for those times when you're out there in rough water, because you never know. You know, the lake I live on Kentucky Lake, if you're sitting in a bay fishing, the main lake can turn. It's a mile wide. Jay Paul's been there with me. Lake can turn, and you don't know it till you come back out. And then what do you do? So yeah, that's, you know, me and Zach's talked about it for a long time. I didn't have a Stormcat there that was technically our boat that I could do it with. And me and Zach were talking about it, and what a better time. This new design, this 300 horse rated boat will be the same design for all boats moving forward, especially when we start building them in Tennessee. And so we just want to prove that we do have a safe boat. It's level flotation, and that when something bad happens, which we hope never happens, you'll be safe.
And I do want to point out too that XL really does focus on that safety issue. It's something that we as a marketing team have been made aware of many times, that this is something that is very important to us as a company, and not just in this Stormcat model, but all of our models, even down to our duck boats, which don't even require as much as we put in. They don't need to have the level of flotation that some of these other do, but we put it in anyways because safety is a big concern for XL. It's one of my favorite parts of our company.
Yeah, and you know, I can take anybody back in the factory and show them just how much foam we pump in these boats, and it's just any open space has foam in it that doesn't have wiring or some kind of tubing run through it. It's all pumped full of foam, and you know, I know Jeffrey, you've been around, and Jay Paul have been around a long time. Our foam is a closed cell foam. There is no way possible for that foam to saturate. It may do its job, and it's held water from getting back before, which we have addressed in some of our other boats. But this foam, even if it gets water in it, is not going to soak up foam. So when we fill it full of water, it's not going to hurt the foam. It's doing its job to keep it out. So
Absolutely.
These Stormcats, they are packed full. I mean, from bottom to top, full of foam.
Yeah, you know, I take a great deal of pride when I'm giving plant tours and we come to the foam station. You know, every boat in our line exceeds, and most of them greatly exceed the Coast Guard minimum. We're not happy with just meeting that minimum. You know, all of our boats exceed the Coast Guard minimum for flotation. That Stormcat should float upright and level. I know that my F4 does.
It's a story for another day.
You know, your buddy says, "Oh, I'll get the plug." And you're like, "Great." And so he puts it in there, but he doesn't tighten it. And a little while later, you've got to your hunting spot, you get out, you wade, you come back to the boat, and you notice it's very, very low in the water. But it's upright, level, and floating because somebody didn't put the plug in tight and it came out. Experienced that this past duck season.
Yeah, and I think we need to be clear. Do not try this at home. What we're fixing to do. Don't just go out and put your Stormcat and fill it full of water just because. So we're not encouraging that in any way, but want to prove a point that we do have a safe boat.
Amen.
Amen.
That is awesome.
Great. So then, continue on. What's the plan for today and after the fun? What do you got going on?
Yeah, Zach, you're the guide. You're the one taking me and Scott Loveless fishing.
I'm going to take them to a couple of my honey holes and see if we can't catch a catfish or two.
He promised us a 50-pound fish at least, minimum.
Well, I don't know if I promised that, but I'm going to try to make it happen.
Pictures.
Proof, really.
Videos, especially if we get one that size.
I don't know. I think the boy wonder may be bad luck for you. Just watch out for him.
Be careful. Be safe. Social distance.
You're not helping this situation anymore.
Yeah, and then you need to send Jeremy back too because he's got to be at work Monday morning at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock.
No,
I am working. I done clocked in this morning.
I know you have.
I tried to get him to stay to Sunday night, but he told me no. I got to be back at work. So at least he's following guidelines.
Amen, buddy.
Good.
Because Monday we are firing it back up at the Excel plant in Mountain View, and we're
Right.
rocking on here. Guys, I know y'all want to get out on the water, and we'll let you go. We've kept you for a while, but first, it is time for the Blind Bag Confessional. The part of the show where we ask our special guest, Zach Taylor, if we go duck hunting with him and we try to sneak a snack out of his blind bag, what are we going to find?
You'd probably find a zebra cake.
Ooh, I like Little Debbie.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, I typically keep a pack of zebra cakes in the cabinet, and I typically keep a zebra cake in my boat. I like me some zebra cakes. I like some Nutty Buddies. I like some grandma cookie peanut butter crackers.
Damn, we're
Just
gonna.
love Little Debbie.
Hey, I'll tell you what. My fishing partner Ken, it doesn't matter where we are. He always has a bag of snacks. We never go hungry. So he's definitely my kitchen on the water. If you want it, he has it.
Wow, Jeffrey, are you familiar with zebra cakes?
I'm really not.
Okay, so I don't know if they have Little Debbie out there in the out in Utah, but we have a company down here in the South called Little Debbie, and Little Debbie makes all kinds of sweet treats. And a zebra cake is, oh gosh, how do I even describe a zebra cake?
Like a zebra? Like maybe it has stripes?
Well, it's kind of like a King Don, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
got icing all the way around it, and it's white icing with chocolate stripes, thus zebra cake.
Got it. Interesting.
And they're really good.
That sounds good now. I'm hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zach, if we were to rummage through your blind bag, what would it be that you don't want anybody else to find?
Oh, I don't know. I got toilet paper in there.
You don't want anybody to find that now. They'll take it.
No kidding.
It has definitely come in handy before in the past. I mean, no shame. When it hits, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. So I'm glad to have it sometimes.
I'll tell you, this duck season, I discovered something even better. I discovered dude wipes. Have you guys seen those?
Yes.
I have not.
They're a flushable wipe, but they're in a waterproof package, because I swear, I mean, how many times have you went into your blind bag to pull out the TP and, you know, you'd put wet gloves in there or something and it's just falling apart?
Yeah, it's just totally ruined. Yep.
Totally right. And you've got to wind up using the cardboard roll in the center because it's really going to hold up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
I know exactly what you're talking
unfortunately,
about.
mine is in my watertight seal console on my Stormcat 230. So I've actually never had mine wet.
There you go. There you go, buddy. Well, man, we really appreciate you. We appreciate all that you do. You and the boy wonder, Jeremy Coe, y'all have a big time today out there on the water while we sit in our offices. Are you at your office or at home, Jeffrey?
No, I'm actually in my office today.
Yeah, I'm in my office in Union City as well. So, you know, we can live vicariously through the two of you guys, because I guarantee you, we both would rather be someplace else.
Well, we'll definitely send you some pictures if we catch some fish, or when we catch some fish. You got to be confident. Try not to rub it in too much.
Man, you do that, buddy. Well, it's been a great pleasure to have you on here today, Zachary. Jeremy, can't wait to see you back in the office. And Jeffrey, I hope you're staying safe out there. And for everybody that has taken the time to listen, we really appreciate you tuning in to this episode of the Excel Boats on the X podcast, powered by Mud Buddy Motors.